Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're taking an incredible journey through Indonesia's huge history, but we're ditching the textbooks. Instead, we're going to let the buildings, the monuments, the actual sites themselves do all the talking. So let's get started. Right? I mean, who hasn't dreamed of that? The idea of actually seeing history with your own eyes, it's just captivating. Well, that's kind of what we're doing today. See, in Indonesia, you don't really need some fancy machine. The landmarks themselves, they're like these incredible portals to the past, and each one tells a totally unique part of the nation's amazing story. All right, so for our first stop, we're going way back. I mean, way, way back. We're talking about the dawn of humanity in Indonesia, a time of ancient peoples and these massive, mysterious structures. Okay, just let that number sink in for a second. 150,000 years. That's how deep the history goes at our first spot, the Sandrian site. It's just wild to even think about that scale of time. So here we've got these two incredible cornerstones from the super deep past. You've got the Sungguren Early Man Site, which is this UNESCO treasure trove, basically giving us fossil clues about human evolution. And then you've got Gunung Padang, which is the largest and oldest terraced mound in the whole country. It's just a stunning piece of ancient engineering. Okay, let's fast forward a bit now. We're jumping into an age of wow, just monumental faith and power. A time when these powerful kingdoms and sultanates totally transformed the landscape with these absolutely breathtaking structures. And this really captures what was happening back then. You've got two massive UNESCO World Heritage Sites, built around the same time, but for totally different faiths. You have Borobudur, the biggest Buddhist temple in the entire world. I mean, the detail is just insane. And then, just a short hop away, you've got the incredible spires of Prambanan, this giant Hindu complex. Its main temple, dedicated to Shiva, is a staggering 47 meters tall. But you know, it wasn't just about one religion or another. This whole period was about fusion. It makes sense, right? The archipelago has always been this major crossroads for trade and different cultures. Just look at the Istana Mamun in Medan. It's this gorgeous palace that mixes traditional Malay Islamic style with European designs. Or check out Kelenteng Sampokong in Samara, the city's oldest Chinese temple. It's this perfect blend of 14th century Chinese and Javanese architecture. All right, so our story now takes a turn, a pretty big one. We're moving into the long colonial chapter. This period, it completely reshaped the islands, and you can literally see its legacy carved into the cities all across Indonesia. And what's so striking here is just the sheer scale of the colonial footprint. You can see it in places like Fort Rotterdam in Makassar. That was the Dutch East India Company's HQ for government and defense out east. Then there's Benteng Friedeburg in Yogyakarta, which ironically means peace fortress. And of course, you can't miss the grand old administrative buildings of Kota Tua in Jakarta and Gedung Sate in Bandung. And speaking of colonial buildings, we've got to talk about one of the most famous and maybe a little mysterious buildings from that time, Lawang Sewu in Samara. Its name literally means the building of 1,000 doors. It used to be the headquarters for the first private railway company in Indonesia. But get this, here's a fun little fact for you. Even though that's its name, it doesn't actually have 1,000 doors. The real count, it's 928. Still, that's a ton of doors, and it's what gives the place its incredibly unique, almost maze-like feel. And that brings us to our final chapter, and honestly, it's probably the most powerful one in this whole story. We're talking about the landmarks of revolution, of freedom, and the birth of modern Indonesia. Okay, so everything in this part of the story really boils down to one incredibly important word: proclamation. The proclamation, this was the moment. It declared Indonesia's independence and officially kicked off the national revolution. And you can actually trace the story of that declaration through two key spots. First up, there's the old home of a Japanese admiral, Tadashi Mayada. This is where the actual text, the words that would change everything, were drafted. It's a museum now, as you can imagine. And the second spot is the Tugu Proklamasi, the Proclamation Monument. This is where you'll find statues of the nation's founding fathers, Sukarno and Hatta, marking the exact spot where they declared independence to the whole world. But you know, that incredible spirit of independence, it didn't just stay in Jakarta. The moment the news got out, the new red and white flag went up high above Jam Gadang, a big clock tower from the colonial era, all the way over in Bukit Tinggi, Sumatra. What a powerful symbol, right? A new era was starting. And this is the ultimate monument to that entire struggle. The Monument Nasional, or Monas as everyone calls it, towers 132 meters over the heart of Jakarta. With that golden flame on top, it's just the perfect symbol of the country's hard-fought freedom and its unbreakable spirit. So let's just take a step back. What have we really seen here? We've gone from 150,000-year-old fossils of our ancient ancestors to the mind-blowing grandeur of ancient temples, through the stark, imposing architecture of colonial rule, and finally to the powerful monuments of a revolution. The point is, Indonesia's epic story, it isn't tucked away in some dusty textbook. No, it's written right there on the landscape for all of us to see and experience. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. History really is everywhere. It's in the buildings we walk past every single day. So maybe the next time you're out and about in your own city, just take a second look at the buildings around you. What story are they trying to tell you? Thanks so much for joining me on this journey.